Hello, Philip here from Trial by Stone, the Dark Crystal podcast. We hope that you've been enjoying all the coverage from over this Halloween weekend for Thralloween. And so for this very special video presentation, we have Sydney along with Jack and Janet from Riverhorse Games and World Anvil, respectively. They're going to give you a sneak peek on the Dark Crystal adventure game, which is a tabletop RPG game where you can play as a gelfling of any clan of your choice as you journey throughout the world of Thra. Unfortunately, I couldn't be part of this little game preview with them, but I do hope that you really enjoy this little video presentation that we've done up exclusively, as part of the Thralloween. So we really hope that you'll enjoy the following presentation. Enjoy.
So, our adventure begins in the swamp of Sog, to the south of sort of most of the area of Thra, most of the civilized regions of Thra.
How rude.
The swamp of Sog is a wild and dangerous place, but it is home to the Drenchen, a clan of amphibious gelfling who are very much at home in the sodden swamp. You have been tasked to check up on the guard of all that is known to you as is the Ape Knot prison. This is a very important task that has been given to you by the Mordra herself, Mordra Le Cid. She hasn't really elucidated much on why you need to check up, but you have a feeling it might have something to do with the fact that the previous guard didn't return from the prison when they were expected to.
Spooky.
A couple of days ago. So maybe a bit dangerous. The only warning that you've been given is to not approach the prison itself, and under no circumstances are you to talk to the prisoner. I reckon this is probably one of the first sort of real bits of responsibility that you've been given as a pair. What do you reckon? How do you guys reckon you know each other? Are you friends, or what's your connection to each other?
Just to clarify, neither of us know who is in the Ape Knot prison, correct?
You don't, no.
Okay.
It's a prisoner. Have we?
A prisoner.
A prisoner. Have we been to the Ape Knot prison before? Is that a place that we would have gone to?
You have not been to the Ape Knot prison before. You get the feeling that sort of the main reason you've probably been given this responsibility is due to a lot of the more capable warriors, the more sort of responsible members of the clan have gone north in order to fight in the rebellion, the resistance against the Skeksis rule. And so this has been entrusted to you.
So I'm thinking we would probably know each other because my sort of idea for my character, Rags, was that she has sort of been traversing the regions of the other clans to sort of recruit. Now that we're at this point in the resistance where the clans are much more friendly toward each other, more willing to take up arms together, I've sort of been tasked with going and seeing who would be interested in hopping on our ships and taking to the seas. So I'm now in the Swamp of Zog to see if I can make any Drenchen buddies to bring back with me onto the boats and get swashbuckly. So I would say I've been in Zog for enough time to start getting to know people, and I'm sort of, but not long enough to be like, I've definitely been to that Ape Knot prison. I'm still asking questions. I'm still a little unfamiliar with my surroundings here.
So Nara has definitely is a Drenchen, has been in Sog her whole life, which is not as long as she would like everybody else to believe. And I think the minute that Rags showed up, she was definitely asking questions about the rest of the world, but in a way that made it very clear that she didn't really give a damn. But obviously she really does. So you will see her around you a lot. She will be hanging around Rags a lot. So casually asking questions. very, very curious, but not wanting to let on too much how curious she is, because she's got a little bit of pride, right? So definitely a little bit of the annoying younger sister going on there, who definitely thinks she's far more grown up than she really is.
I would say also that Rags is not as immensely well traveled yet. I've probably been to like one or two other clans so far.
Oh, that's like the whole world.
I was sort of sent to the swamps because I needed to kind of chill out a little bit first. That was sort of where I was tasked to go, because I'm something of a partier and something of a, you know, I have too much fun with my job, and I needed to get a little less big for my britches. So I needed to go somewhere where I could get a little humble, so to speak. So that's where we're at.
We're just going headlong into danger. That's exactly what's going to happen now with these two.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be completely uneventful. You find yourself walking through the swamps, and you've moved off of the Ape Knot path, off of the sort of, although no part of the Swamp of Sog is really very sort of tamed or civilized, with the possible exception of Great Smurth itself. You've moved away from any sort of remnant of civilization sort of at this point. It's definitely off the beaten path. Although with the directions you were given, you are able to sort of catch the signs and know that you are going in the right direction. Could I grab a sort of a perception from the both of you, or awareness, I believe, is the
that would be a straight 4.
I have got a 6.
Oh, fantastic.
Natural 6.
Nara, you realize as you're chatting, your conversation comes to a bit of a sort of a pause, and the silence of that pause seems to stretch sort of longer and more silent than the swamp ever is. There's always midges, there's always some creature, or even just the burbling of swamp life around, but this silence feels deeper, feels stronger than that. Rags, you sort of hear that silence, and sort of you lean forwards and you sort of try and sort of work out what that's all about, and you sort of hear within the silence, ever so quietly, the hum of an ancient song. And it takes you a moment, because you haven't heard this song for a very, very long time.
But it's familiar.
It is familiar. It is an old Siphon sea shanty. And if you could give me an ancients roll. So this is going to be difficulty 3.
I've gotten a 2 for ancients.
You can't quite make out the words, but you do know that it's definitely a sad song. It's it's not a cheerier sea shanty. It's more, what do we do with the drunken sailor?
Okay.
So very quietly and coincidentally in the direction of the Eight Knot prison that you are getting close to at this point.
I'm hearing some music, Nara, and it's very familiar, but I can't quite make out exactly which song it is, but it's definitely something from my childhood, something from my kinsman.
Round here?
It's weird. I know.
Are you touched? Have you gone sun crazy or something?
I could have. We have been out here for a little bit, and frankly, I haven't had a whole lot of sleep between you and me. But if you go at the fuchsia beta wine, that's what's going to happen, isn't it? I mean, listen, you're not the first one to tell me that. But the thing is, typically when I'm in this mode, even if I'm a little unsure of myself, I tend to hear the best in the situations. And right now, what I'm hearing is kind of a bummer. And that's not normally the kind of vibe that I have when I'm adventuring. It's so I'm gonna go with my instincts here and like, this is weird. I'm uncomfortable.
How many fingers am I holding up?
4. Your whole hand. That's your whole hand. I'm not gone.
If you'd
Sheesh.
seen 8, I'd have had questions. All right. So you're hearing crazy music
Well,
after a
it's
night.
sad. It's sad music. So I think, I don't know. I typically, when I hear music like this, something is being mourned, and maybe that's okay to head towards, maybe a song of mourning. That's not quite so foreboding necessarily, right? Maybe that kind of.
Well, as long as it's not a preamble to us being mourned, do you know what? It's fine. I draw my machete. I am not up for being mourned today. Not interested in that. Thank you very much.
I sort of pat my little sack of mushrooms that make people fall asleep, because I'm like prepared that the person that we potentially are going to meet is going to need to take a little nap, because they don't sound happy.
As you've sort of spoken, although you've been speaking quite quietly, you do get the sense that sort of the utter silence of this place sort of begs for your sound to flow through it and travel. And indeed, sort of as you try and listen for that song again, you hear nothing. It has stopped.
Did you hear it at all?
I hear midges. I hear water. I hear the swamp. It's what it sounds like here. What, you've been here weeks now. Come on.
I hear that now, but the song stopped. I just wanted to double check that you didn't hear it at all. It's gone now. Now I am a little concerned it's just me.
All right. How about we get on with what Mother Lacid told us
Yep,
to do before we
absolutely,
get in
let's
trouble? Because do you know what? I've not got more hide to tan at this point.
Yeah. So we keep walking toward where I think the sound came from. I'm gonna sort of start in that direction of where it sounds like where I think the music was coming from.
You make your way easily enough, and sort of through the water here is probably about knee deep, but the mud beneath isn't too thick. You can make your
Nice
way
and squishy
sort of...
between my toes.
Nara's definitely sort of having an easier time of sort of moving through this terrain, whereas sort of Rag's definitely sort of having to plod a bit more.
I got a lot of accessories. I should have thought about that.
As you near the region, you see sort of there's a few less trees about, though their sort of canopies still reach each other, sort of though sparser than they were before. And in front of you, in the distance, you see the gnarled branches of a grand ape knot tree at this sort of grove's center. The branches twist around and sort of inward rather than outward, and they twist so tightly that it creates almost this large orb of almost solid wood. In the tree, you can see sort of cut into one of the branches is a heavy-set ironwood blade. Sort of, it's a sort of large, old-looking weapon that would take sort of a strong gelfling, 2 hands. It's a mighty weapon of war.
Bit creepy here.
I'm still getting a sense of something kind of familiar to me. I can't put my finger on it, and I don't think it's just because of where I was last night. I'm pretty sure that I'm picking up on something that just, I don't know, why would that be here? Have any other Sifen ever come through here?
Not that I know of. I mean, we had those from Harar a bit ago, but no one from the Sifa clan.
I want to try to not necessarily perceive, but to see if I have any insight as to, I want to investigate the weapon and see if it looks familiar to me at all. Like,
are you wanting to do that sort of from the edge of the grove, or get a bit closer for a better look?
I want to get a little closer and try to investigate the weapon to see if there are any hints of something close to my culture that I'm familiar with.
If you'd like to choose either ancients or awareness, depending on whether you're sort of trying to work out the history of the weapon or whether you're just trying to find sort of minute details.
Since I have a bit of an advantage in awareness, I think I will go with awareness.
Whilst you're doing that, Nara, what are you up to?
Yeah. In the meantime, while she's fixating on whatever she's fixating on, I'm going to look around and see if I can see any traces of the guard, because we were sent here to find the Ape Knot prison guard, and I've never been here before, but I'm sure there were supposed to be people. There are no people.
That is concerning.
Yes, if you
so-
could give me an awareness as well, then.
I rolled a 3, but then I have the two dots.
Brings
So
that
that
up
would
to
be about 5.
So, looking at the blade, you can see that it's an old weapon. You imagine sort of the only clan that really has old weapons of war is usually sort of stonewood. So, if you had to guess, you'd say it's perhaps an old stonewood blade. And yeah, it seems as well. You can see it's halfway into this branch. It's really stuck in there. Whoever swang this blade, definitely a tough cookie, a strong one.
Listen, are there any big stonewood guys around? Because that's what this is telling me. And the fact that there's nobody around, would the guard have been? Do you think this was the guards?
I don't know about that. I mean, Stonewood, they live beyond the guardian trees, right? I mean,
If I was gonna hire somebody from beyond to come and guard this big thing, I might pick a big stonewood guy. I don't know. That's what this sword is telling me, is that it's from not one of you guys. And
I
it's
ain't
not,
seen them in
it's not
Smurf.
mine either.
That's all I can say.
You guys will know that the original guard was Drenchen,
Okay.
but
So-
you don't know what weapon or what equipment they had. They might have had
Okay.
a foreign sword.
Fancy sword.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty concerned that there's nobody around. Are you Lacey did say we came to find the guard, right?
Have I made any headway? I rolled a straight 5. No bonuses.
And you were sort of looking up and around. So you see up in the sort of the canopies, they're a bit sparser than sort of they are in the deeper sort of swamp of Sog. You can see a few sort of vines working their way in between the branches. They don't look like any vines you recognize. They are sort of a pasty whitish grey, and you sort of see them working their way through the canopies, some sort of down the trees and into the water.
What is that?
Should we touch them? Do these look like weird to you?
Is there one close enough to poke it?
You can see that one has actually sort of come down a couple of the trees sort of closest to you. They almost just look like sort of someone's thrown rope at the tree, and it's sort of stuck there. And yeah, it's a couple of steps away.
I want to root around and see if I can find a rock in the mud. I'm gonna throw it at the vine.
Yeah, you can sort of chuck the rock at the vine. It strikes the vine, but instead of sort of bouncing off or cutting into the vine or sort of knocking it, it just sort of hangs there and hangs off of the vine. You can sort of see sticky, gluey sort of resin coming off the vine, and a sort of you can feel almost that this vibration of the rock has transmitted almost up the vine and into the canopies above.
Oh, that's weird.
You get the sense, rather than any physical sort of knowledge, of something large moving in the canopy.
Don't like that. Do you think we should climb trees? And like not any of these with the sticky guys on them. Should we find a high surface to try to look? Because I feel like, and I'm saying this very quietly because I think we're getting a sense that we're not alone here. Should we take our perception upward? Would that help? What do you think?
So as far as I'm aware, there's nothing that lurks in the ape knot branches, particularly naturally, right?
Yeah.
There's creatures, and there's nothing that would prey on Gelfling. Nothing that sort of would be a predator.
I'm gonna look around for a tree that doesn't have this sticky, goopy, white, creepy vine thing
Yeah.
all
yeah,
over it.
Same thought.
And if I see one, I'll beckon to Rags to follow me
Yeah.
and point
yeah.
up. And we're gonna see if we can get off the ground. Maybe it's a bit of cover, right? If
Yeah,
nothing else.
exactly.
I want that sword. Just in case anybody's wondering. I've wanted that sword since I walked into this glen, and I'm damned if I'm not leaving with it. I want that sword, but I want to live.
Yeah, we should try to live first.
As you look around, you can see that a few of the trees don't have this this sort of the whitish rope on them. You note, Rags, as you sort of step to move towards Nara, that there seems to be sort of a bit more resistance than there normally was coming through the swamp, and you'll notice that one of the vines on a nearby tree seems to move when you try and move your foot.
Is it stuck to me? Is there a vine on my person?
As you lift your sort of boot out of the water, you do see that one of the vines sort of is stuck to your boot.
Nara! It's on me, it's on me, it's on me, it's on me, it's on me.
I'm running over, machete in hand.
Slice and dice, slice and dice.
You may be an idiot, but you're my idiot, I say. And I try and cut you free without
really
cutting
sweet.
your foot off.
Okay, can you throw me a fighting ferocity?
Yes! Finally, something I'm good at. She says, rolling a 2. That would be a 4.
Yeah, with and since you've got the machete as well, you can take improved on that. So you
Boom,
can roll
boom,
again.
boom.
Take the
Let's try
highest.
that again. That is a 7 all told. Yes,
Oh, fantastic! Yeah,
Much
you
better.
rush over. You basically, sort of half grab, half push Rags, chop through that vine, and with just one single blow,
Nice.
and sort of the you can sort of feel the vibration almost moving up the webs. I mean vines. And yes, you can feel that sort of that movement from above you again. This time, sort of looming ever closer.
Okay. Up the tree, before it gets us again.
As you've been grabbed, you've sort of been moved a little bit closer to the prison itself, and you hear a small, quiet voice say, "I think you should run, Gelfling."
I'm with the creepy voice.
Oh, you heard that one. Okay.
You say this, oh, you heard that one, to a
Yeah.
running gelfling who was bounding for the nearest tree.
Yeah, I'm gonna also run toward that tree because we want to go up.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you guys run, can you roll me reflexes? And I'm going to give you improved because you've got the warning ahead of
A
time.
natural 6.
Oh, fantastic.
That is
Yeah.
a 6 all in for me.
Okay, so as you run for the tree, a great form smashes down into the space where you just were,
What a
crashing
great
through
form.
Oh, fuck flaps!
crashing through the trees. It is. You've heard of these? You've heard of Arathim. You know what Arathim are.
Oh,
But this is bigger than any of the stories that you've heard. This is something large. This is something old. You can see scars across its back from many sort of blades and battles, and it turns its sort of whole body towards you. So something about Arathim that you'll know is they should be, in theory now, your allies. They are your allies in the war against the Skeksis.
mhm.
Something you will also know or have heard a little bit about is the Darkening, a blight that is making its way through Thra and infecting creatures and turning them mad. So you have that information.
Nara, 2 things. 1, that's probably not the guard. 2, those are probably not vines.
I think that ate the god.
You think it is?
I think it ate the god.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Maybe it's just we woke it up. Maybe it's friendly, but it's just really grumpy.
Maybe we should sing to it? There was singing before, and it was like sort of a lullaby, and maybe it was asleep, and now it's not, and maybe we should sing or shut up. One of those. I don't know. I'm freaking out.
I'm gonna do a personal roll to see how smart Nara is. And she got a 2. So yeah, that's a great idea. You sing to it. I'm gonna try to communicate. So I'm gonna try to communicate. It's got 8 legs. I've got 8 fingers. I'm gonna try to communicate with it as if I'm a small spider, Arathim. And I'm betting on my friend Rags's song that we can communicate with it.
Okay, I got a perfect one. You keep doing that with your fingers. Are you ready? The itsy bitsy Arathim was guarding the ape knot tree, and it did a really good job, so you should not eat me.
That's wonderful. All right, throw me an artistry check, and you can definitely make that improved for your wonderful.
Natural
song.
6 again, +1, so 7.
I got a 2 and a 6. So thank goodness for improved rolls is all I can say.
Our song slaps.
So it turns towards you. It rears back. It's got it sort of rears its sort of main sort of battle claw. You can see it's sort of its claw is notched. It's obviously seen a lot of wear and tear. Even the tip, sort of the last half foot of it, is snapped off in some old battle. But it stops at the song, and you can see its eyes sort of curl towards the machete next to. Well, I guess you've put it away. If you're doing
I've sheathed it. Yeah, you need 2 hands to be an Arathim, really.
Yeah,
it's a 2-handed sport.
So you can see it. You can see its eyes sort of move towards the machete, sort of sheathed, then sort of look back, and it doesn't lower the claw, but it's not coming any closer. It seems reared and ready, but not currently in attack mode. You've calmed it somewhat.
Okay.
I think we should back away slowly.
Yeah, and whisper, "That's not our sword." We did not do that.
As Rags keeps singing and I keep being a spider, so I will continue to do this motion. So battle claws up, battle claws down, battle claws up, battle claws down. I'm trying to communicate that we are not aggressive, but I'm also doing this while backing away and trying to hide behind a tree trunk. That is the plan.
It seems to sort of make itself bigger, but it is happy for you to retreat, to move away, and it lets you move away. Turning to Rags, and sort of like, now that Nara's a bit further away, it sort of focuses a bit more on the closer gelfling.
Which is me or Nara?
Which is you, yeah.
Okay. So I think I'm gonna keep singing, but I'm also gonna reach into my pouch and pull out one of my tuft rooms, which should smell delightful. And so the tuft room is supposed to be a pleasant smelling mushroom that sends things into a deep sleep. So I'm gonna sort of waft it around and keep singing about the itsy bitsy Arathim who deserves a snacky snack so that he can take a nappy nap.
All right, I'm gonna give him a wild sense check, sort of see if he knows what this is.
Is he partial to mushroom risotto? This is the question.
Delicioso.
So he did not roll particularly well. So he sort of comes closer, and as he's sort of looming, you're just you feel the great weight of him.
Yeah.
This close, you can also see that one of his eyes is missing, and you can see the remnants of a great slash sort of across his carapace that looks a very, very deep, very painful, very old. It's
Yeah.
obviously sort of scarred over a long time ago.
Okay.
Wound. That if you'd like to roll me a wild sense check,
Sure.
it's going to be pretty high. It's going to want a 5.
Ooh, well, it's a good thing I just rolled another natural 6 then.
Never throw those dice away.
Yeah, this is a good D6. I'm gonna have to like,
Blessed.
put him in his own little box. Yeah, so I also want to, kind of roll the mushroom toward him, like, hey buddy, this is for you. You've clearly been through a lot. I'm really sorry about your face and your leg. If that was done by that big sword, once again, not mine or hers. This right here, you can have it. Here you go, buddy. And like kind of roll it, like nudge the mushroom like toward him gingerly.
As you sort of move the mushroom towards him, he does crouch down and eat it. Sort of one eye, the good eye, focused on you the entire time. That claw still sort of.
Good job, buddy.
But it smells good, and you get the sense that he's probably quite hungry. From the wound, you get this idea, and you get this feeling from the creature. This sort of you empathize with it. You feel its loneliness. You get this sense of disconnection. This wound seems deep. And you think that perhaps it's not as connected to its brethren as most Arathim are. Most Arathim can sense other Arathim around them and sort of connect to them in a hive mind called the Ascendancy. And you think that perhaps this wound might be affecting that, might be getting in the way of its.
It make a lot of sense.
Is this a wound or a scar?
It's a scar. It's very old.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Very
I was
old, very
thinking, if
deep.
it was a wound, I might have something for that. If it's a scar, I can't help.
No, this is damage that's been done. Okay.
Oh, and you would imagine years and years and years ago that this damage has been done. But yeah, it eats the mushroom and sort of looks back to you. Stands there, sort of seems to be sort of glaring at you still in those hateful eyes, and then sort of you can see it sort of slowly, very slowly, sort of crouching down, like it doesn't even realize it's sort of slowly sort of nodding off.
Yeah, just keep singing to it, man. Just keep doing the fingers, Nara. He's nappy nap, take a nappy nap.
As it sort of,
I will.
Yeah, and I'm gonna back away.
So there's one of us on one side of the tree singing, and the other one on the other side of the tree is doing the fingers.
Yeah.
As we watch this Arathim sort of fall asleep.
Yeah.
As you're back there, Nara, you sort of move away to one of the. You're at one of the trees sort of around the grove. Yeah. And you'll see that on this tree, there has been marked in dream etched sort of writing on the tree. You have each of the clan symbols, the Gelfling clan symbols, in a circle around the word Skeksar.
I have to know who that is.
Do we know who that is? What is our world knowledge like?
So, the Drenchen knowledge about this term is that the term Skeksar is synonymous with danger. The Siphon knowledge is that the name Skeksar appears with regularity in the myths of the Siphon people, both as hero and as villain. So, sort of in many of the stories, it's a sort of mix. They're almost this mythological creature. This character, but you will know, of course, from the prefix and the way that Skeksis name themselves, you'll be able to make the jump that this may in fact be Skeksis. The other thing you'll notice, the clan symbol is around, do give you sort of the feeling of a prison, of a sort of surrounding the term Skexar. And you will see a great gash in sort of one of the symbols. It is in the Groton symbol, and it feels that gash. If you can see the Arathim, you get a feeling that would match the Arathim's sort of scythe-like claws.
Interesting. Yeah.
So,
So I
that-
will beckon Rags over to come and see this. And I'll be like, you know what that means, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of myths about Skeksa, and some of it's cool and some of it's really, really not. So
What are you talking about? It means danger. It means this place is lethal.
yeah, that could be true. But we also, in my culture, have like, we named our star kind of after the being that this name also means. We have the Mariner star, and so it could be like
Whoa.
pointing.
Being? A star and a person and a
We
what
say
and a who and a
being,
hey? I
it's
think your gills are
unclear.
clogged.
It's unclear whether Skeksa really existed, but this kind of tells me that they probably did.
Whoa.
I'm gonna-
So we're talking about a person here.
Well,
Like a
probably a Skeksis because of the Skek part of the name, I think.
Whoa, wait.
Did you catch that it's
wait.
Skek in the name? You caught that, right?
Yeah, but
Skek.
did you catch that it's like a prison?
Yeah.
It's not possible, right? You can't capture a Skeksis, can you?
I mean, maybe all of the clans together, like in this sort of symbol situation. Something must have happened here with that involved like all the clans coming together. And I think given recent events, that kind of does make sense. Like we've sort of been doing that kind of thing lately, which is cool. But I had no idea that this happened, if this is what we think it is.
All right. Well, look, dreams is dreams and stories are stories. But as sure as mud is mud, we're supposed to be finding the guard. I think we should walk around the outside of this, because I don't fancy going in there again. I say, looking at the sword just for a second, being like, no, we shouldn't go in there again. We should walk around the outside and see what we can find. Because I don't know if that thing has friends, but I don't want to meet them.
I mean, I don't think he does though. He seems kind of, didn't you get the sense that like he's kind of by himself and he's not very happy about it? So
I don't know if you noticed, but I don't speak legs.
You did pretty good considering, though, let's be honest. So yeah, okay. We investigate more, walk around, see if we can find anybody. Should we go with the original plan of going upward and trying to get a view of the surroundings from a vantage point?
I squelch my feet in the mud. You can go up if you want to. I think I'm happy here with my toes in the mud.
Okay, all right. I'll climb a tree then. I'm gonna climb the ape knot tree, I think.
The big one.
Were we told not to touch it? We were told not to talk to who was in it, but were we told not to
talk
touch
to
it?
Prisoner.
You were basically like, it's dangerous, be careful, and whatever you do, don't talk to the prisoner.
I want to try to get onto a tall branch nearby so that I can get a vantage point, of the perimeter, so, and then I can sort of communicate what I see down to Nara.
Okay. Can you throw me a climbing check? It's not too bad. Difficulty 3.
In the meantime, I'm going swimming.
I got a natural 5.
Fantastic. Yeah, you make short work of the tree. And from sort of this vantage point, you can see sort of slung between a lot of the trees, you can see the webbing of the Arathim making their way through. And indeed, from this sort of vantage point, you can also see a few sort of cocooned shapes within the branches.
Okay. Is there any hint that there are more Arathim around?
Can you throw me an awareness?
Yes. 5 plus 2, 7.
7. You do not hear any other Arathim. You don't see any sort of signs of danger. So you can be pretty sure that
That these cocoons are thanks to our sleepy friend down there.
Most likely.
Yeah. Okay. I think I've seen all I need to see. I don't see any other movement from this vantage point, just evidence that our sleepy buddy has captured some people. So I think I'm gonna sort of, can you hear me from up here, Nara? Nara! I do sort of like a loud, aggressive yell whisper.
Yeah.
You know, like a
Stage whisper. Yeah.
Yeah, stage whisper, exactly.
What?
It looks like there are probably gelfling up here that have been ensnared by
Bungling
Sleepyhead.
mud flaps, I say, and I make it up the tree.
But the good news is that it looks like it was just him. He doesn't have any buddies up here. So
Well, I don't know if that's the good news. I'm a bit worried you just found a guard.
I mean, that is what we were told to do, though. So
I was kind of hoping to find him like walking and talking, and
I mean, that's the best case
ready to come
scenario.
back.
But technically, just come up. Let's poke him or something. Maybe
Yeah,
he's crazy.
I'm gonna leg out the tree. That is a 5.
Fantastic. Yeah, you followed the path Rags took and get up that tree.
How far away
nice
are
and
these
safely.
cocoons?
So they're closer to the sort of center of the clearing.
How many are there?
There are 3.
And how many guards were there?
2.
Oh, interesting. I want to poke a vine.
A vine?
I want to poke one of these webicles and see how sticky it is and see if I can get myself off it. So I'm just going to go with a finger, first of all, like that.
So you get it with a finger,
Yeah.
and it's definitely sticky. And sort of pushing off. Yeah, it takes like quite a lot of force to pull your finger away. So you imagine if it was stuck to sort of a larger area of your body, it would be quite difficult to extricate yourself.
All right. Well, that I don't love.
Could we fashion a poking device to sort of poke one of the cocoons and see if there's any sign of life? Or
I love a good poking device. Could I just? I live for a good poking device. I'm so sorry.
I reckon if you climbed a little bit closer, you would be able to poke from a distance. I reckon.
What about a different approach? What if we just started chopping things?
That is another
interesting option. Okay. You're not concerned that if one of these dudes in here is still alive, if he drops, then that could cause him to not be alive?
All right, hear me out. A Great Smurf, right? You've seen it. There's all those like wires and ropes and stuff. And you know what? If you cut one rope, it's not a problem because there's other ropes. And that's what I'm looking at here, right? You've got I'm gonna say your shapes, because I don't want to get too attached to them right now. You got your shapes in the middle, right? And then I'm seeing like a couple of points. So I'm wondering what would happen if we just like removed one and then removed like maybe another one over there, and then maybe it wouldn't be like a big drop for the shapes, let's call them. Maybe it would just be like a little bit and then a little bit and then a little bit, and maybe the shapes won't break their gills when they hit the ground. It's just a thought, right? I'm not a shapeologist or something.
I mean, how much worse could their situation really get for them, honestly? So it's already a pretty bad day for them if we just leave them there anyway, so we might as well try.
I am going to attempt to cut. So actual question. How many points do these things have? So I'm assuming there's a webbing situation going on.
Yeah, so I reckon if you sort of climbed around, you could sort of cut in 3 or 4 places and sort of release one of these cocoons.
So they'd have like a gradual
gently.
poetic descent. Is that what you're telling me?
That's what you're hoping, yes.
Right, yeah,
at the end of the day, it is water and mud below. It's not as if it's like onto a hard surface.
All right, so a soft landing. Maybe there'll be a fish to break their
Yeah,
fall.
a
All right, let's
soft,
do some chopping.
Drownable landing.
Bad day for the fish,
Soft
but
and only marginally squishy. There we go. All right,
2
let's get
out of
chopping.
3 of them are probably drenching as well, so they'll be fine.
I too am marginally squishy. I understand.
Yeah, it's a SOG thing. Don't worry about it. You get used to it. All right, I'm taking my machete and I'm going to start. So instead of going thwack and cutting through it and causing all flavors of chaos, I am going to attempt to gently, thinly slice and see if that approach works. If that approach does not work, I will start chopping.
Okay, can you throw me a wild sense, please?
Wild sense.
Wild
Yes.
sense. Getting a sense of these webs and
That is
which
a
one
3.
a 3. Okay.
I don't have much sense.
So it takes you quite a while, and you get you hear the sort of sounds of clicking from the Arathim below, which you think might be Arathim's snores, but it does bring up the sort of the thought, the niggling thought in the back of your mind of how long do Arathim sleep, and how he's bigger than a gelfling. Those mushrooms would have lasted a long time on a gelfling, but
Yeah. Well, how many do I have? Oh, I only have 1, but okay. I was gonna just like throw some more down there, but
so it takes you a while, but after sort of a while, you are able to sort of cut down one of these cocoons, which falls gracelessly but harmlessly into the water below.
Is it possible to tell which end of the shape is like a lumpy round end and which end of the shape is like a pokey foot end?
You reckon, yeah, you reckon luckily that it's landed sort of feet mostly first, and whatever you would expect the head to be, for it does look like it is a gelfling shaped cocoon, has sort of landed. And in fact, as it lands, you get it wiggles a bit in shock. So alive, hopefully.
cool.
All right,
Okay.
I'm going to keep chopping. Why don't you go down and start
On it.
unwrapping?
You and me, we're like this. Okay, so I'm going down, and I'm gonna start. Do I have? I don't know if I have a staff, but that's just for blocking. I guess I can always just grab a stick, like a pokey stick, and start kind of trying to peel away at the sticky stuff carefully to try to free this shape's face.
Yeah. Okay. Can you grab me a strength check as you're sort of as you're down there?
Okay, that is a 2. I am not strong. I am not a strong person.
So you're working. After a little bit of time, you manage to sort of get the head.
Yes, it just takes some
uncovered.
effort. Elbow grease. Okay.
The gelfling, a drenchen, appears to be unconscious underneath, and as you sort of get that final sort of thing, you hear a small voice from the tree once more. It says, "Don't trust them, Sifa child."
Why would I not trust a gelfling who clearly didn't win this? I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna not listen to the creepy voice from the tree. That just something about that. I'm gonna hold off on how I feel about the creepy voice from the tree and stay focused. Don't get distracted by creepy voices. I've learned that lesson before. So I'm gonna keep trying to open up as much of like free as much of this guy as I possibly can while Nara is trying to get the other guys down and hopefully not smush me in the process with their bodies. But
so it's real tough going. It's taking you a long time, and sort of this is hard work, especially without sort of a cutting tool. And you hear once again sort of the voice. The Drenchen are all liars, deceivers.
okay, see, now that is very culturally insensitive, and I'm very inclined to not listen to that. That's just straight up, to say the least, is problematic, and I don't stand for it. So I'm tuning it out. And I'm gonna, Nara, the prisoner, I'm not talking to it. We were deliberately told not to. I think we were told not to talk to it because it seems to be highly racist, and we need, if it says anything to you, ignore it.
It's very problematic.
Just warning. Ignore the racist prisoner. Just stay on task. Stay on task. And
Okay,
I'm
I'll
staying
hiss
on
back.
task.
All right, that's fine, but maybe don't wake Mr. Sloopy down there. I say, looking at the Arathim and looking back at you, and looking at the Arathim and looking back at you.
The Arathim's leg twitches as if it's chasing Gelfling in its sleep. It's very adorable and also very threatening.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I go, oh. Sweetie, no. Okay. So now that the unconscious friend, we can safely say his entire face is free at this point, right? I'm gonna start.
He certainly seems safe at this point. I think by this point as well, Nara will have managed to cut down sort of the other two.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna shin my way down then and try and go and help Rags.
Yeah, I imagine you have something pointy that would help.
I've got my machete.
Nice. Okay, so whilst that happens, I'm gonna try to like smack this shape with his face around a little to try to get him to wake up. See if I have any luck there.
You don't think it's going to be easy, but it's healing, difficulty 5. If you want to.
That's an impressive slap.
A healing slap. That's some Vulcan stuff right there. And I got a 4. I don't think I have anything for, so I'm 1 short of healing. So I had to slap harder? Faster, stronger?
I think you go at it a few times, and if anything, he's more unconscious.
Damn it, man!
Rags, what are you doing?
I'm trying to wake him up. It's not happening. I know he's
hit a Drencher when he's down.
But I believe in him. Okay, I'm gonna stop hitting him. Clearly, this is getting nowhere. But can I see if he's breathing?
He does seem alive and breathing.
Okay.
Just unconscious.
Okay. Now what?
I'm going excavating for Gelfling in the other shapes, cocoons.
Yeah, you can sort of get them certainly upright and out of the water.
What are they? Are they both Drenchen?
So as you sort of cut away, the second one is Drenchen, but the third one seems to be an ancient Stonewood Gelfling, who has a large scar across their face, an old battle wound. They're sort of heavily set, clearly. Many Stonewood are warriors, but this is clearly not an exception to the rule.
And they're all alive?
They're all alive.
Guy? Okay.
Even the ancient guy, yeah.
Well, slapping doesn't work, so I'm just going to put that out there. Don't slap the ancient guy, even though he does look like he could take it.
Well, they do say don't slap your elders, so I won't be doing that.
Saying?
That's the saying. I'm sure it was something like that. Don't slap your elders. Something. Don't kick a granny when it's down. Something like that. I'm sure it was something. So
that does seem like a familiar proverb. Our cultures are melding.
yeah. I'm sure it was. Yeah, something. I don't know. I'm going to attempt a healing check on these guys to see if I can wake anyone up.
Good idea.
I have no reason
yeah.
to believe it would work, but I'm
Better
gonna
than
try
mine
anyway.
did.
So that's going to be difficulty 5 on the other Drenchen, and difficulty 4 on the Stonewood.
Sadly, I rolled a 4 on the other Drenchen and a 3 on the. So just
Perfect.
1 too low each time. I should not have declared my intentions. You see, that was the problem there. So we've got 3 bodies, 2 hands each, and quite a walk home, I'm gonna say. Thoughts?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to try to drag them all the way back. We have to wake them up somehow, or
Unless
it doesn't seem likely that. Yeah,
I've just had an idea.
if it's the same one I had, go.
I'm sure it's not the same one you had. I have sticker shrub in my bag, so I'm wondering if I can stick 2 cocoons together and then just drag them so that they're stuck to each other. It'll be easier to
Well,
drag.
couldn't we
2
also like
cocoons
rope
together.
them around with one of the vine things, the sticky vines too, to like reinforce?
We could, but I don't know if we get our hands off it again.
That's true.
I
We
mean,
made little-
that was really my issue the first time. I mean, if we could make like a handle
we
out
put-
of leaves, but do you know
That's what I
what?
was-
We're gonna pick up every damn thing in the mud on the way home. We're gonna get back looking like a freaking caddisfly larva.
That's true. Okay, let's go with your.
We found the
idea
Drenchen,
first.
and also half of the swamp.
Yes,
Um,
17 mudfish and an entire tree.
I love it. So yeah, working quickly, you sort of take the sticker shrub and you sort of prepare it into a paste, and you sort of slather it between the cocoons, stick them together so that they're easier to transport. You also hear the voice once more say, "Careful, Gelfling. The Arathim wakes."
Is the Arathim waking up?
As
I
you
look at
look,
my shoulder.
you do indeed see that the Arathim groggily sort of seems to be slowly getting to its feet.
Yeah, just stick them together as fast as you can, man. Stick them, and drag. Right? Just
Yeah.
heave ho.
Drag, totally drag. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna drag my 2 because I reckon I'm a bit sturdier than you
A
are,
little beefier. Yeah, I'm not.
and you've
I
got 1, and we're gonna drag them to the edge of the clearing.
So if you can give me a strength check, difficulty 4 for the 2 and difficulty 2 for the 1.
Come on, good dice. Oh, it's a 5. Oh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
You are not gonna believe this, but I have totally just slipped in the mud.
Oh no.
Oh, natural 1.
Oh no.
So you pull on the 2 together, and sort of almost drop from the weight of them.
Oh, what have you been eating?
So I'm like several meters ahead with my 1, like, hey, I'm doing pretty good. Hey, where are you? Where did you? This is not how I expected this to go.
This was not the plan. Just
Okay.
saying.
Yeah, you are sort of you take one heavy step, and the Arathim looks up sort of groggily, sort of stumbles slightly, puts one leg onto the prison, and stares at you with its good eye, and its mandibles go crazy, and it makes a skittering roar. It is clearly not at all happy with being tricked, and
To be fair, we just stole its
It'd fall asleep.
Lunchables. So
Would we call that tricking, buddy? You clearly needed a rest. You had a rough time. I had no malicious intent. Okay, well, I'm gonna drop my 1 guy, however far ahead I managed to get, and come running back to try to help Nara heave ho her 2 guys together. So maybe the 2 of us can yoink them better than just. I don't know how much help I'll be, but I'll try.
Okay. Yeah, you can get back, and the Arathim is going to give its skittering roar once again, and raise its claw towards you.
No.
So it is going to make an attack as you get in.
Gary.
So this is a challenge.
Okay.
So essentially, it's going to make an attack roll, and you are going to defend. So you can either use reflexes to defend, you can use block, or you can use block. If you use block, then you must have an item that you're blocking with, essentially.
Can I block with a machete?
You can, yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, that's not a specialized weapon, but it means you're not hindered.
I have a staff that's especially made for blocking. It says after I block an attack, my next attack is improved. So if you still want to use your machete to block and we do it together, that's cool. But my staff is definitely meant for blocking. I'm a defensive person.
I think it's coming at both of you. So
Okay.
you're going to both need to block or to dodge.
All right, let's try
this boy.
Oh, that's a 6. Do I get to add my strength to a block?
If you have any points in strength.
I have point in strength.
So you'll add 1, unless you're specialized in block as well, in which case you add 2. 7. So it's lucky you got that because he also rolled a 7.
Oh.
So yeah, you manage to sort of bring your blade up, and sparks fly as it parries across the length of his scything claw.
Not today, Mr. Leggy.
And then Rags, what did you get?
I got a 4.
A 4.
Yeah,
he rolled a 6 on that one. He was doing pretty well. So he is rolling
staff.
The staff. So you rolled a 4 on the 2 dice. You rolled 2 dice.
That's right.
To
There's
the
2.
highest.
I forgot it was 2. You're right. Yeah, 4 was the highest though. Dang.
Okay. So
when I'm good,
yeah.
I'm real good, but when I'm bad, I'm awful.
So the first strike glances off of the machete. The second, however, smacks into Rags, who takes 1 damage.
No.
So what that means is you are now, instead of using a D6, you're using a D4 for basically all checks. And if you take another damage, that's when injury tables start happening.
Okay. Make it my D4.
The next thing that fills your ears is a creaking shout of anger. The creaking is coming from the breaking of wood. The shout is coming from within the ape knot tree.
Oh no.
And you see a hand, only a hand, grasp its way, smashing through the oak, through the bark, and grab onto the shell of the Arathim. And the voice shouts one word: "Run!"
Do we want to listen to the racist guy? But running makes sense at the same time, so maybe we should run.
I want to give one more attempt to grab my cargo.
Yeah.
And see if I can run with them.
That's a good idea.
So if you guys are working together on that, then there'll be no check for that. You can sort of carry the 2 ends of the cargo together and drag that together.
Cool. So are we able to grab the third guy too? Like all between the 2 of us, just grab the 3 dudes in one bundle?
My guess is once we've got them moving.
Once you've got them moving,
less
it's
of
a
an
bit
issue.
easier.
Yeah.
You've already made the check to carry that first guy. So sort of so as you sort of drag them away, you can see this Arathim is being held in an iron sort of grip. The Skeksis claw is not letting go, despite the Arathim sort of curling and trying to claw back at it, screaming at the sky, screaming at you. You have clearly made something of an enemy. But the Skeksis holds it tight and does not let go for anybody, allowing you to drag your cargo out into the swamp of Sog.
As we drag them away, and we're far enough away that we can't hear or see the prison anymore.
Screaming.
I pause. I drop the cargo that goes, and I turn to Rags and I'm like, I don't know what we're going to tell Mordra Lacid. but it's not gonna be good.
Yeah. I'm also really proud of you for not grabbing that sword.
Oh man, I wanted
And-
that sword.
Yeah, and maybe we can also let her know that, you know, we can sing Spider to sleep, worst case scenario. Like,
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play up that part of it. Yeah. We definitely conquered like a whole Arathim. And he had friends. I am sure that he had friends, and we just like, yeah, we were so brave. And then we saved these guys and we were amazing. And it was not our fault that whatever that thing was got its hand out. That was nothing to do with us.
no, it
That's the
was,
story.
yeah, absolutely. And we were lying everything it said. You know, we didn't even hear. I don't even know what it said, except for, you know, we had this intuition that told us to run. And
Yeah,
so like
absolutely.
we just knew.
I didn't even know it's racist. It's a racist game. I've got no idea about that. No idea. I think I look there, I look back. I think we should go home.
Let's go.
And I think
Then
with
we-
that, the credits start to roll, and you have
Yay!
successfully saved the guards of the
Did not die.
not prison.
Da-da-da-da. I only took 1 point of damage. Not so bad for kind of a bumbling moron. Woo! I love it.
Definitely. No, he is a very dangerous guy. So just for anyone who might end up getting the book, that was a mix of two scenes that I sort of mashed together just to because I knew that you knew a bit about the Eight Knot prison already, so I thought I'd throw in
That's
a bit
awesome.
of Skarn's vengeance in there as well. Skarn's fury, even.
That was
Very
really cool. Really cool. And both scenes that I had nothing to do with writing, which is really nice.
That was
I was like,
another
I don't know about this
decision.
stuff. This is awesome.
That's so
another.
great. Oh, thank you guys so much for doing this with me. This has been just so much fun. I love a nice, like, short and sweet session. I love an intimate party. It's just stuff like this. I live for it. I can't believe I get to do this and say that I'm a pro at something that is just super fun to do. So yeah, everybody who is watching, happy Thralloween. And I hope that you guys, if you have not already pre-ordered the Dark Crystal Adventure game, please do as soon as possible. It makes a lovely Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, you can do it in Thra. And if this didn't prove that to you, I don't know what will. So
just to say, if you do want to buy the book, you can pre-order it on Riverhorse Games, and I'm sure there's a link somewhere.
Everything will be linked. Everything. But yeah, good idea. Let's plug stuff. Anything you guys want to put out there?
I'm Janet. I'm an RPG writer. I also run World Anvil, which you can see up there. It is a world building platform and novel writing software and gaming, so campaign managing software. So if you're into RPG games like this very cool game, or if you write novels, or if you just love building worlds that are as rich and diverse as Thra, then World Anvil is the ultimate place to do that. We have 1.5 million world builders there already writing, creating, making beautiful worlds, and you can go join them right now. Create a free account at worldanvil.com. I will add that Thra, can I say this, is coming to World Anvil.
It is in the works, yes.
Thra is coming to World Anvil. You will be able to explore the world of Thra, check out interactive maps of the landscape, explore the spaces that are in the book as well with page numbers, right? So you can like quickly navigate the whole thing really easily. I am so excited to see the amazing art that Chris has been working on over at Riverhorse, and of course all the work that Jack has been doing to go onto World Anvil. So yeah, Thra, fully interactive. Cannot wait for that.
I am beside myself with glee. That's going to be so great. Thank you to Jack and thank you to Janet. And with that, I'll take it away back to Philip.
Thank you so much, Sydnni, Jack, and Janet, for that very special sneak peek into the Dark Crystal Adventure game. Of course, the game will be coming out later this year, and you can pre-order the game right now through Riverhorse's Games website, or pre-order it from any book retailer or any retailers that will sell the book, of course. So if you wanted to actually know more about the podcast that Sydney and myself do, called Trial by Stone, the Dark Crystal Podcast, you can find out all about the podcast on our website at www.darkcrystalpodcast.com. And we're also on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, on a lot of the podcasting platforms. If you just do a search for Dark Crystal Podcast, you'll probably find us. So, and of course, you can follow us our social medias on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And of course, links will be in the description below. Again, thank you so much for watching our presentation.